Bad North is a minimalistic real-time tactics game with a lot of charm behind it. Control groups of soldiers as you escape the wrath of the evil Viking King. Bad North is available now on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One and PS4 on August 28th, and PC later this year for $15. Bad North doesn't really have a major story behind it, so we're just going to jump right into the gameplay for this one. Bad North has you visiting procedurally generated islands with groups of soldiers to defend the homes on the island. At first glance, it's a really easy and straightforward game. Enemy Vikings come following your army, and so you have to travel from island to island seeking refuge along with resources to better improve your army. Islands are nicely organized in a simple flowchart-like map that shows the progression of your journey. You can also see little previews of the island, like how they're structured, the multiple stories of the island, and the amount of homes on each island. At the bottom left of your screen is an easy to navigate commander list. These act as your troops and are spread into different categories of soldiers consisting of spear, sword, and archer. Using money you've collected from villagers on the island, you can reinvest that money into your soldiers. Money fuels their upgrades like new skills and enforcements. Archers, for example, can unlock a skill that shoots a rainfall of arrows, while a swordsman can use a sword dive attack. Some islands even have villagers that are able to be recruited into your troops and grow your own army. Army management is another fun aspect of the strategy, as eventually you'll have more troops than you can handle. Varying on the island, you'll have to choose wisely which troops to send out, because just like how soldiers can be different, so can enemies. Some enemies focus on having shields while others will be archers. Those with bows can shoot from afar, while those with shields can provide cover. The progression system is incredibly easy to understand and follow, so much so that it's welcoming to those that want to dip their toes into the tactical strategy genre, and those that are veteran players but want something chill to play at home or on the go in bite-sized pieces. That's ultimately how I felt that this game shined, in bite-sized pieces. While working on my Morphe's Law review, I often went to Bad North for little breaks like my trips to the kitchen to make some coffee. Being able to not only use physical controls but also just use the touchscreen to navigate my troops made the experience much more intuitive. As for the challenge of the gameplay, it starts off pretty easy with a growing steady challenge curve. As you make your way further down the island path, you'll start to run into new types of islands. Islands with varying weather conditions, multiple floors, and essentially things that make the team management not so easy. You'll have to cover multiple corners of the island at once to push your resources to the max. Losing any of your army means that they're going to be gone for good too, so if you eventually run out of soldiers, you're forced to start the game all over again. That sense of danger kept my adrenaline high during especially challenging maps. It was ultimately that easy introduction to the game with that rush that kept me wanting to play more and more. Bad North is created with this lovely minimalistic design to it. I'm a complete sucker for artsy type games of this nature, and these seem really popular on mobile devices, thus I think a lot of people will probably boil this down to a mobile game. I'm personally a fan of it though. Being able to zoom out to see the ships around your island and likewise zoom in on fights makes the game feel like there's an entire little world in your hand. The varying types of islands and weather conditions look fantastic. Regardless if I'm playing in dock or handheld mode, the visuals look nice and crisp. My only issue with the visuals are with the performance. There'd be some instances after a game where a bit of slowdown would happen in the map navigation. It'd fix itself after a few seconds, but it seemed to happen pretty often. Most likely it's a bug that can be fixed in the future, but at the time of reviewing this game, it's still definitely noticeable and present. Despite being simple in looks, Bad North does a pretty good job with the soundtrack behind it. The instrumentals for each island change up based on the environment and weather conditions for said island. For example, the first few islands were sunny days and so the music was much more peaceful. When it started to rain on some islands, music would change up to feel more dark and ominous. I love the subtle design choices like that. Along with the sound effects of fights and the weather, it all mixed together really well. One thing I do wish was done with this title though was the use of HD rumble to either mimic the fights happening on screen or the weather being simulated on screen. I feel like that would have helped the simplicity of this game still feel more immersive. Bad North is an incredibly simple tactile strategy game that still remains to be challenging, and it shines because of it. Its simple in design nature makes it one of the best easy to pick up and play games I've played in quite a while. Its introduction feels welcoming to newcomers of the genre while still providing some challenge for veteran players looking to get their tower defense fix on the go and at home in quick bite-sized pieces. The presentation may turn off those that aren't into minimalistic design that's become so popular on the mobile market, but for me, I really loved it. I just wish a bit more attention was put on the rumble features that could have easily made the presentation better on platforms like the Switch's HD rumble or the Xbox One trigger rumbles. If I had to give it a score, I'd give Bad North a 9 out of 10. That's my review of Bad North for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. If you enjoyed the video, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more reviews just like this every single week, and you can check out my most recent videos on the left side of the screen. Thank you all very much for watching, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.